Welcome back to the deep dive. Our mission, well, it's pretty simple. Give you the knowledge you need quickly, thoroughly, and with surprising detail.
You, our listener, you're here because you want to push past that intermediate ceiling, right? You get the grammar, you know the common words, but you see that gap, that crucial gap between just chatting and, a high-level professional or academic English.
Yeah.
You know that feeling. Drafting a key email, prepping for a negotiation, maybe a big exam, and the same few everyday words just keep showing up.
Yeah, those simple phrasal verbs, those common words, they're fine, perfectly okay sometimes, but they just lack that bit of authority you need in certain contexts.
Exactly. So we dove deep into the source material to find the precise ways to make that vocabulary upgrade, to sound more professional. And that is our single focus today, synonyms. But look, not just any synonyms. We're really zeroing in on the shift in register. Register.
Yeah, synonyms are words with similar meanings, sure, but their connotations, the feelings, the context they bring to mind, they can be worlds apart. So we're looking to move from common informal words, often those multi-word phrasal verbs, towards more precise, formal, single-word options, more authoritative ones.
Right.
And the goal isn't to just, throw out your existing vocabulary, not at all. It's about adding a specialized toolkit for those high-stakes moments.
High stakes like job interviews, presentations.
Exactly. Applying for a promotion, submitting research, leading a formal meeting. Your language needs to match the weight of the situation.
Right.
And being able to switch between those registers smoothly, that's what really marks advanced fluency.
And why does this matter practically, like right now?
Well, mastering these 40 advanced replacements, it instantly boosts your credibility. It helps with tests like IELTS.
Definitely.
And crucially, it sharpens your comprehension, because when a native speaker switches effortlessly from, say, looking to investigate.
Yeah, you need to catch that shift. You need to recognize that change in tone, in meaning, instantly. They know when to switch from the casual chat to the polished presentation, and by the end of this deep dive, you will too.
Okay, let's get right into it then. Let's unpack this transition with our first pair, and we'll look not just at the word swap, but crucially, the structural changes that often come with it. All right, first up, a verb everyone uses constantly, help. It's foundational, gets the job done, but it's never going to sound advanced. The professional advanced synonym we're aiming for here is assist.
Assist.
The basic meaning is the same, supporting someone, making something easier, but the feel of it, the connotation, it's immediately more formal, more elevated.
So if I say, she helped her coworker finish the task, that sounds friendly.
Friendly, casual, yeah. But if you say, she assisted her coworker, it sounds maybe more like a formal support role, perhaps even documented. It can signal hierarchy or professional duty.
Okay, and here's where it gets really interesting, right? The deep dive part. It's not just swapping the word, it's the grammar that has to follow.
Absolutely. This grammatical precision is often what separates intermediate from advanced speakers. The source material really hammers this home. Structural awareness is key. So, with assist, what's the rule?
Okay, so when you use assist and the action follows directly, you often need the preposition in plus the gerund, the verb ending in ing.
Ah, the gerund. Okay, so that casual sentence, she helped her coworker finish the task, needs to become professionally. She assisted her coworker in finishing the task.
Got it. In finishing. So if you forget the in and the ing, even if you use assist, it sounds clunky.
It does. It trips you up. It's a common pitfall for learners aiming for that next level.
Okay. Is there another way? Well, yes. If you're assisting with something, a noun, the structure changes slightly. If the object is the task itself, you'd often use with, like, she assisted her coworker with the task. Ah, okay, so assist in doing something or assist with something.
Pretty much. But either way, in plus gerund or with plus noun, the moment you choose assisted, you're signaling that higher, more professional register.
That's a really critical grammar point.
Oh.
Okay, let's talk formal timing, starting and finishing things. If you're kicking something off officially, the everyday word is start.
Right, but for more institutional settings, official events, we need an upgrade.
Which is?
Commence. Commence.
Commence sounds very official.
It is. While start works for almost anything starting a conversation, a car, studying commence, is almost always reserved for formal, public, or official beginnings.
So give me a sense of that limitation. Can I commence making dinner?
Generally, no. That sounds a bit odd, doesn't it? You start dinner. Yeah. But you might commence a trial, commence a graduation ceremony, commence official proceedings.
Right, it carries that institutional weight, exactly. So the event started at 9 a.m. becomes the event commenced at 9 a.m. It signals not just the beginning, but the official start of a scheduled program. Think about the words it hangs out with. Its collocations. Commence often goes with proceedings, inquiry, trial. Okay, that really clarifies its specific use case. And if we commence formally, we need to end formally too. The common word is finish. What's the formal upgrade for completion?
That would be finalize. Finalize.
Finalize. Okay, the difference seems subtle. Finish versus finalize.
It is subtle but important, especially in things like project management or documentation. Finish just means you stop working on it. They finished the report yesterday. Okay, done.
But finalize implies more.
Yes. When you finalize a report, it suggests the work isn't just done, but it's gone through all the necessary checks, edits, approvals. It's officially complete, ready to be submitted or sent out.
So using finalize tells the listener, this isn't just stopped, it's signed off, approved, ready, gives more confidence.
Precisely. It implies a higher level of quality control and official completion baked right into the verb itself. Okay, let's shift gears into the language of business. Management, strategy, oversight. Areas where being concise and clear about responsibility is really vital.
The everyday phrase for handling responsibilities is often that common phrasal verb, deal with.
Right. And this is a prime example where swapping a multi-word phrase for one concise verb gives you that instant professional edge. Instead of deal with, the formal single verb is handle.
Handle.
Handle is used when you're managing or taking care of a situation, really focusing on the responsibility and the authority you have. She deals with customer complaints, it's fine, but a bit passive maybe.
Right.
She handles customer complaints, that's direct, clean, sounds more authoritative straight away. It clearly signals her management function.
Okay, but is there a risk? Does handle ever sound too impersonal? Like if I tell someone they need to handle a sensitive HR issue, is that better than saying they need to deal with it, or maybe harsher?
That's a really sharp question. Touches on nuance. Handle generally implies competence, delegation, is very task-focused. It suggests you have the authority and resources to manage it completely.
Okay.
Deal with can sometimes imply more of an ongoing engagement, maybe even a struggle.
Yeah.
Handle implies more definitive control. So for a very sensitive personnel issue, maybe handle sounds too much like just processing paperwork. You might handle the paperwork, but maybe address the human concern.
Okay. So choose carefully based on the nuance.
Exactly. But for most routine professional tasks, projects, responsibilities, handle is usually the stronger, more efficient choice.
Appreciate that distinction. Okay, moving from responsibility to creation, coming up with ideas. If you're generating a plan or a solution, the casual phrase is think of. What's the immediate professional upgrade for that?
That would be devise. D-E-V-I-S-E.
Devise. Yeah, that definitely sounds more involved, like complex plans or strategies.
It should. If someone thought of a new marketing strategy, maybe it just popped into their head. But if they devised one, it suggests careful thought, intentional effort, maybe methodology, real determination.
Right. It elevates the process.
It really does. Devise collocates strongly with words like mechanism, strategy, plan, system. It implies more intellectual rigor behind the idea.
Good one. Okay, oversight and supervision. When you're directing people or activities, the casual phrasal verb is look after.
And the formal single verb replacement is, quite naturally, supervise.
Supervise.
The key difference here is the formality of the relationship. Look after often has that feeling of caretaking, looking after a child, a pet. She looks after the interns. Sounds nice, but casual.
Whereas she supervises the interns.
That defines her official managerial role, her responsibilities within the organization's structure. It's the language of organizational charts and job descriptions.
Makes sense. Okay, let's talk delays, putting things off. The common phrasal verb is put off.
And the advanced official term is postpone.
Postpone.
Postpone is used specifically when you're formally delaying a scheduled event, usually to a determined later time. They put off the meeting until Monday. That's everyday chat.
Right.
But when you postpone something, it suggests the original date was officially canceled and a new, often official date has been set or will be set. This is the language you see in formal memos, calendar updates, maybe even legal notices.
Got it. And a quick one on fixing things. If something's broken, we usually say we fix it, the upgrade.
Is repair, R-E-P-A-I-R. Now, there's a crucial technical distinction here we need to flag.
Okay.
Repair is almost exclusively used for the physical or mechanical restoration of something tangible that's broken, a computer, a car, equipment.
Right. And fix is broader, isn't it? You can fix more abstract things.
Exactly. You can fix a mistake, fix a situation, fix a relationship, fix a software bug, things that aren't necessarily physical objects. You generally wouldn't repair a mistake conceptually.
Okay. Good point.
So while repair is the perfect formal swap for fixing something physical, he repaired the computer, you need to stick with fix, or maybe use another word like rectify or resolve if you're dealing with an abstract problem or error. That limitation on repair is really important for accurate, advanced usage.
Okay, let's move into communication. Exchanging information, getting clarity, precision is key here. The standard verb is explain. But what if the first explanation wasn't quite enough?
Right. That's where clarify comes in. clarify.
Clarify.
You use clarify specifically when you need more precision, more detail, or you need to clear up some confusion, often from something said earlier. You might ask, can you explain the instructions? That's a general request.
But if I got the instructions and they were confusing?
Then you'd ask, can you clarify the instructions? That slight change signals you need specific details to remove an existing doubt or ambiguity. You're asking for refinement.
I like that. It's more targeted. Okay, efficiency in communication. Single words often sound more formal than phrases. Getting in touch with someone. Instead of the 3 words, get in touch. We use the single concise word, contact. Contact. I'll get in touch soon versus I'll contact you soon. Much cleaner for formal emails or memos.
Definitely saves space and sounds more direct, more professional. Similarly, for just generally exchanging information or ideas instead of talk to.
Use communicate with.
Right. Communicate with broadens it slightly and sounds a touch more formal. But there's an even more specific, elevated term for a particular kind of information exchange.
Yeah.
Especially seeking professional advice.
Ah, yes. Getting expert input. You might casually say, he talked with a financial advisor, but the upgrade here is
Consult. C-O-N-S-U-L-T.
consult.
He consulted a financial advisor. Using consult immediately implies the interaction was structured around seeking expert advice, specialized knowledge, or a professional opinion. It's like a transaction of expertise.
So you consult experts.
Experts, documents, records, manuals.
Yeah.
It's a really key verb in academic, legal, and medical contexts.
Okay, great. Let's turn to finding things out. Research, discovery. When you learn something new, realize something you didn't know, the casual phrasal verb is find out.
And the formal upgrade is discover.
Discover.
I found out the reason for the error. Totally normal, casual. I discovered the reason for the error sounds much more technical, more professional. It often implies there was some process of investigation or analysis that led to the finding. You hear a lot in scientific or technical reports.
Makes sense. And when you're trying to locate something specific, maybe resources, funding, a particular strategy instead of just look for,
You should use seek. S-E-E-K.
seek. Why is that better?
Seek conveys a higher degree of intent, purpose, and often official action. You might look for your lost keys around the house. But organizations, they seek new talent, they seek investment capital, they seek regulatory approval.
Ah, because those things, employees, funding, approval, are usually more formal or high-value pursuits.
Exactly. So seek sounds much more appropriate, more active and purposeful in those contexts than the very general look for.
Okay. Lastly, in this section, examining something closely, especially if there's a problem or a concern. We often use the phrasal verb look into.
Right. And the official verb for that kind of deep, structured examination is investigate.
Investigate. That sounds serious.
It usually implies a higher level of seriousness or formality. Look into is more like casual problem solving. The manager will look into why that file is missing. Okay, she'll check around.
But investigate.
Investigate carries more weight. It suggests a formal process, maybe sequential steps, gathering evidence, analyzing facts. It can often imply severity or even potential consequences. If the police or an internal audit team gets involved, they don't just look into it, they investigate.
So choosing investigate signals that the company or authority is taking this seriously, using a formal procedure.
Precisely. It raises the stakes linguistically and communicates a real institutional commitment to finding answers. All right, let's pivot slightly. Moving away from action verbs for a moment, let's focus on how we label people, groups, and describe results. This is really important in technical writing, like HR documents, reports, census data.
Okay, so first up, the person you report to. The common word is boss, but the required technical or official term is
Employer. E-M-P-L-O-Y-E-R.
employer. Yeah, that sounds much more formal, almost legalistic.
It is. Employer refers specifically to the person or the entity, the company itself, that hires, supervises, and pays the worker. It's the term used in all legal documents, employment contracts, HR paperwork.
So she talked to her boss about a raise as casual chat.
Right. But she filed a formal grievance with her employer, uses the official language, signaling that formal contractual relationship.
Makes sense. Okay, talking about groups of people living together, we usually just say family, but the source recommends a more precise term, especially for data.
Yes, the term is household. Housdhold.
Household. How is that different from family?
Well, family is usually based on kinship, blood ties, marriage. Households, on the other hand, is a technical term used in demographics, economics, census data. It refers specifically to all the people, related or not, who live together in one housing unit.
Ah, okay, so it's about the dwelling unit.
Exactly. So the study looked at 3 families as general, but the study analyzed spending patterns across 500 households, uses specific demographic language for accuracy.
Got it. Let's talk about describing outcomes. If a meeting or an effort produced good results, the simple word is successful. But there's a more evocative, advanced synonym mentioned.
Yes, fruitful. Fruitful.
Fruitful, like yielding fruit.
Exactly. It's often used metaphorically. While successful really just focuses on the end result, did we achieve the goal? Yes or no? Fruitful describes an effort or a process that actively generated something valuable. Valuable ideas, productive discussions, useful progress.
So the meeting was successful might just mean we finished the agenda.
Right. But the meeting was fruitful. Suggests it was really productive, maybe collaborative, led to unexpected insights or good next steps. It emphasizes the quality and generative nature of the process itself. I like that. It describes the how of the result, not just the what. Okay, speaking of the nature of things, possibility, common word, possible. The formal, more critical, technical word is feasible. Feasible.
Feasible.
Feasible. This feels like a really important one for professional contexts.
Yeah.
What's the core difference? Possible versus feasible.
It's huge. Possible just means something can happen, theoretically. Is it possible to teleport? Maybe someday. Feasible, however, means something can be done or achieved, specifically after considering practical factors like resources, time, cost, technology.
So using feasible implies you've actually done the homework.
Exactly. When you say something is feasible, you're signaling that you've likely assessed the resources, checked the timeline, maybe looked at the budget, you've determined it's practically achievable now or within the given constraints.
So it's possible to build a base on Mars is a statement of theoretical possibility. Right. But it's feasible to launch the next phase of the project by Q3 implies the project manager has crunched the numbers and thinks it can actually be done.
Got it. It carries that weight of practical assessment. It does. And it collocates strongly with words like assessment, study, plan, timeline, budget. And remember the pronunciation for that professional sound. Feasible, that long E. Feasible. Noted. Okay, moving on to variety. Instead of just saying things are different,
we often use diverse, D-I-V-E-R-S-E.
diverse.
While different is just a basic descriptive adjective, diverse specifically implies a range or a variety of distinct characteristics within a group or set. Students come from different backgrounds, it's fine. Students come from diverse backgrounds and sounds more formal and emphasizes the breadth of that variety.
Useful in context talking about populations, portfolios.
Exactly. Policy discussions, organizational statements describing complex systems diverse is often the preferred term.
Okay. And describing ability, moving from general experience to something more high level.
That would be expertise. E-X-P-E-R-T-I-S-E.
Expertise. How is that different from just having experience?
Expertise signals a significantly higher degree of specialized knowledge or skill, usually gained through extensive practice, study, or focus in a specific field. It implies mastery, not just time served.
So someone could have 20 years of experience doing something,
but still lack the deep expertise needed for the most complex challenges in that field. It's the difference between being competent at a job and being a recognized master or authority in that discipline.
Right. Okay, style and time. Describing something current, especially in design or art, we might say modern. The shift is to
contemporary. C-O-N-T-E-M-P-O-R-A-R-Y.
Contemporary. Aren't they pretty similar?
They are close and sometimes used interchangeably, but there's a nuance, especially in specific fields. Modern, particularly in design or architecture, often refers to a specific historical movement, roughly early to mid-20th century, modernism. Contemporary more precisely means belonging to the present moment or the very recent past.
Okay. So if you're describing a brand new building design.
Contemporary is usually the more accurate and professional term in fields like art, design, fashion, real estate.
Good distinction. And finally, in this section, deadlines. When you need more time, what's the formal noun for that?
The specific formal mechanism is an extension. extension.
An extension.
It's the official term for getting a deadline pushed back. She needed more time is casual. She needed an extension on the deadline. Uses the precise procedural language common in academic and professional environments.
And linking back to verbs, you wouldn't just ask for an extension in a formal context, would you?
Good catch, no. You would request an extension. request. Request is the necessary formal verb when you're formally asking for something, especially from an authority figure, an institution, or following a set procedure. She requested an extension. All right, let's talk about the language we use to describe effort and determination. This is really key in things like performance reviews or even just self-assessment. When things get tough, the everyday phrase for keeping at it is keep going.
Right, just keep plugging away. The advanced synonym that captures that spirit, that grit, is persist. Persist.
Persist. It carries a deeper sense, doesn't it? It implies continuing despite difficulty, despite opposition or obstacles or setbacks.
Yeah, she kept going even when the project faced setbacks. It's fine. But she persisted even when the project faced setbacks.
That sounds stronger. It elevates the description of her character, her determination.
Absolutely. And, I'll just pause here to say, you, the listener, by digging into this level of detail with us, you are persisting in improving your English. That's exactly the kind of dedication that earns the word persist. Ha! Nice encouragement. We appreciate your persistence too. Okay, now, movement and progress. Instead of the simple phrasal verb, move forward, like when progressing with a plan.
You'd use advance. Advance.
Advance.
Advance implies moving forward sequentially, often to the next stage, the next level or rank. The team moved forward with the plan is okay. The team advanced to the plan sounds cleaner, more official. It can often imply measurable progress is being made.
Okay. And for describing how long something lasted without stopping, replacing the everyday phrasal verb, go on with.
With continue. Continue.
Continue.
Yeah, well, go on is perfectly common in speech. Continue maintains that formal consistency, especially in writing, like meeting minutes or reports. Our discussion went on for an hour versus our discussion continued for an hour. It's just a slightly more polished choice for documentation.
Right. Consistency is key in formal writing. Okay, let's shift to the mental space. Thinking about things, processing events. When you're considering a proposal or a situation carefully, the common expression is think over.
And the advanced replacement is reflect on. reflecton.
Reflect on. Okay, and you flagged structure changes earlier. Is there one here?
Yes, absolutely critical. Just like with assist, the structure is non-negotiable here. You must use the preposition on when you specify what you're reflecting about. So, he thought over the offer before replying becomes he reflected on the offer before replying. You need that on. Reflect on carries that connotation of deeper, more thoughtful, perhaps quieter contemplation.
So if I just said he reflected the offer, that's wrong.
Completely wrong in this context. Reflect by itself means to mirror something, like light. Reflect on means to think deeply about. That preposition on is fundamental for this meaning.
Got it. Reflect on. And that same idea of contemplation can be directed towards the past, right? Instead of look back, we use the exact same mechanism, reflect. And again, you absolutely need that preposition on if you mention the subject. She looked back on her childhood becomes she reflected on her childhood. Okay.
This is the standard formal language you'd use in memoirs, self-assessment reports, any kind of formal retrospective analysis. Reflect on.
Okay. We're moving into our final, more targeted section now. We're going to really flesh out some specific professional uses, grouping them by function. We want to give you more than just quick definitions here, really get into the technical detail. Let's start with formal actions, choosing things, showing things.
Right. So for picking an option from several choices, we move from the everyday choose to select, SELECT.
Select. When is select better?
While choose is universal, select is strongly preferred in technical, official, or formal contexts. Think about drop-down menus on websites or official forms. They always say, select an option. Policy documents, committee votes, choosing from established alternative select implies a more careful, deliberate consideration among defined choices.
Okay, makes sense. And when we talk about displaying something publicly, maybe achievements or art, instead of the very casual show-off.
Definitely not show-off in formal contexts. We use exhibit, EXHIBIT. Exhibit is the official term for putting something on public display, and it implies a formal setting, a museum, a trade show, a conference poster session, a professional portfolio review. You exhibit your work, you exhibit your skills, you exhibit findings. It's pretty much mandatory terminology in academic and artistic fields. Got it. Okay, next cluster. Maintenance and improvement, really important for professional development. Performance reviews. Instead of saying you work on a skill, like presentation skills, we use the more active and purposeful verb strengthen. S-T-R-E-N-G-T-H-E-N.
Strengthen. How is that better than work on?
Strengthen sounds much more proactive and specific. She is working on her presentation skills. It's a bit vague. Is she just thinking about it? She is strengthening her presentation skills implies a focused, targeted, probably measurable effort towards improvement. It's the kind of language you'd see in a development plan.
Okay, good one. And for keeping up a routine consistently, like a process or maybe even a diet or exercise plan, we shift from keep up to
Maintain, M-A-I-N-T-I-N. Maintain implies consistency, stability, keeping something at a desired level. You maintain a high standard of work, you maintain compliance with regulations, you maintain equipment, you maintain a healthy lifestyle. It's core vocabulary for quality control, operations, procedures. All right, let's move into really crucial territory. Compliance, confirmation, official actions, liability, making sure something will happen. The common two-word phrase is make sure. The powerful single-word replacement is ensure, E-N-S-U-R-E.
ensure.
Ensure.
Seems much stronger.
It is. Please make sure the documentation is complete versus please ensure the documentation is complete. Ensure is used when you're confirming that a guarantee will be met or a necessary precondition is satisfied. It implies taking active responsibility for the outcome. You see it constantly in contracts, regulatory documents, safety procedures, audit preparations. It's mandatory language in those fields.
Okay. And getting rid of something. Officially, permanently. We swap the casual throwaway for...
Discard, D-I-S-C-A-R-D. Discard implies official removal, often permanent. Think about discarding old patient records according to regulations, discarding faulty equipment, discarding obsolete policies. It often connects to waste management protocols or official record-keeping procedures. It just carries an official weight that throwaway doesn't have.
Right. Okay, finally, the language of close examination. Due diligence, audits. This is where advanced learners really need precision. If you're reviewing something very carefully, looking for errors, judging information, we don't just review it, we
scrutinize it. S-C-R-U-T-I-N-I-Z-E. Scrutinize.
Scrutinize. That sounds intense.
It means intense, detailed, highly critical examination. It often implies a level of suspicion or the absolute need for accuracy. An internal audit team scrutinizes the financial records. A lawyer scrutinizes the contract language. A regulator scrutinizes a company's compliance report. It suggests a very serious high-stakes look.
Okay. And similarly, for a careful examination of maybe a product or a location, a building site, we move from the very casual phrasal verb checkout to
inspect, I-N-S-P-E-C-T. Inspect implies a structured, often methodical examination, frequently against a set of standards or a checklist. Think of a health and safety inspection, a building inspection, a quality control check on a production line. The supervisor inspected the final product before shipment. It implies a formal, detailed look.
So both scrutinize and inspect are vital for fields dealing with compliance, quality assurance, regulation.
Absolutely essential vocabulary in those areas.
And just one last quick one for this section. Drawing attention to a key point or issue, moving from point out to.
We use highlight, H-I-G-H-L-I-G-H-T.
Highlight.
In her presentation, she highlighted the key risks. It's the preferred vocabulary in reports, briefings, presentations, to visually or verbally emphasize a specific piece of information, drawing the audience's attention to its importance. #Outrea. So we've gone through 40 distinct pairs, 40 upgrades. But maybe more importantly, we've looked at the subtle but really profound contextual and grammatical shifts that go with them. And the core lesson, I think it really comes back to flexibility, contextual flexibility. Native speakers, they lean heavily on those common everyday words, the phrasal verbs, and just normal chat. But the mastery, the real skill, comes from knowing instantly when the situation demands switching registers to be more formal, more precise, more authoritative.
And having that variety, that ability to switch, is what gives you that true advanced fluency. It lets you adapt your tone, your language effortlessly to the environment. You might be chatting with a colleague about how you found out about a merger, and then 5 minutes later, you're in a boardroom telling the directors that you have discovered a critical error in the financial projections.
Exactly. That smooth transition communicates confidence. It communicates mastery, and it shows you can operate effectively at those highest levels. Choosing consult, instead of just talk with when appropriate. That's the hallmark of real proficiency. It means your language carries the right weight for the situation. So we've definitely upgraded your vocabulary toolkit today. Focus heavily on replacing those common phrasal verbs with single, stronger words. Deal with, to handle, look after, to supervise, find out, to discover, and so many more. But, and this is important, if you're really aiming for that polished, professional sound, just swapping single words isn't quite enough. We focused on the lexicon today. But you need to think structurally, too.
Structurally.
Yeah. We touched on it with things like needing in plus gerund after assist or on after reflect. Complex grammar often travels with formal vocabulary. So this brings us to a final thought, a question for you, the listener, to maybe explore next. We've upgraded words. But what other complex language structures might be holding you back? Maybe it's using more formal linking devices, or specific types of sentence inversion, or certain idiomatic phrases that only appear in professional writing.
So beyond synonyms, what's the next structural element to target?
Exactly. What's the next piece of grammar or structure you should seek to upgrade in your own usage to achieve that truly polished, genuinely masterful, institutional sound? That's the ongoing path.